Boing. Holy crap.
Hey guys, our video this week is on Mass Effect's first Krogan squad mate, Urdnot Wrex, arguably the biggest, baddest Krogan in all of Mass Effect. We'll be going over his story.
Okay, so to begin with, Wrex is old. Actually, he's really old. Compared to Drac, the Krogan squad mate from Andromeda, who is in the neighborhood of 1,400 years old before the game actually technically starts, and for whom his age is something of a character trait, and thus discussed quite often and openly, Wrex's age is actually sort of glossed over in all three of the games, such that if you're not paying attention and or don't read the Codex information for when events in the Mass Effect universe took place, it's really easy to miss the fact that Wrex is about the same age as Drac, somewhere in the 1,000 to 1,400-ish range. Though, based upon appearances alone, Wrex is probably at least a little younger, and if not, he certainly aged better. Sorry, Drac buddy, you're great, but you definitely look your age.
Wrex's age plays a role in his story predominantly in terms of what he's had to deal with and what he's seen prior to the events of Mass Effect 1. The fact that he is literally older than the rest of the player's squad mates combined, Shepard included, is never really a big point of his interactions, character, or story. As a young Krogan, Wrex quickly developed into a fierce warrior. He's a formidable combatant even by Krogan standards, one of the elite Krogan Battle Masters, which we neglected to mention in our last video on the Krogan, means he's biotic. Or bad. We haven't really touched on biotics in our Mass Effect videos so far, so as a quick primer for those unfamiliar with Mass Effect, biotic powers are, in simplest terms, telekinetics. Biotic powers are relatively rare in most species, especially so for the Krogan, but those who do possess them can create a variety of telekinetic effects, including levitation, hurling a foe to and fro Jedi or Sith style, as well as less obvious things like creating rift points that suck in everything around them, or enhancing/replacing their personal shielding in combat. That's right, in addition to being a monstrously powerful Krogan soldier, Wrex has space magic. Yikes. The last weapon in his arsenal giving him a leg up on his enemies is that he is smart. Very smart. He's by no means a genius scientist or anything, but he's definitely smarter than one might assume, given his taste for combat and violence.
Back to his history. Among the Krogan, there comes a time in every young Krogan's life when they must pass a coming-of-age trial. Passing has a number of symbolic meanings, including formal acceptance into a clan as an adult, and failure usually means death. For the Clan Urdnot, into which Wrex was born, this trial demanded the Krogan in question, in this case Wrex, face a Thresher Maw on foot and survive the encounter for a certain amount of time. For those unfamiliar, Thresher Maws are giant worm-like creatures with huge gaping maws and the ability to spit acid. They are also a foe best handled from your tank in Mass Effect 1. Wrex not only succeeded in this trial by Thresher Maw, he killed the giant creature, on foot, with at most, according to tradition, 2 or 3 fellow warriors to aid him. Whether he had help at all, or how many would have come with him, is never stated. This was a feat rarely seen in Urdnot history, and this momentous victory, combined with his growing prestige, fame, and skill, earned him the title of leader for one of Urdnot's smaller clans while he was still very young. In fact, it has been noted that he was the youngest Krogan in 1,000 years to carry the honor and burden of leadership at his age.
All of this took place way back when the wounds of the Krogan rebellions, see our previous lore video, were still fresh enough in the minds of the Krogan people that various warlords were still trying to unite their people to continue the battle. Wrex, as a clan chieftain, opposed this idea, citing the fact that they'd already been beaten by this point, and that a conflict with the rest of the galaxy was not one that could be won while the Genophage ruined their young. Instead, he called for the Krogan to focus on breeding and replenishing their numbers, at least for a single generation. And with time, other Krogan began to believe in Wrex's ideals and follow his plans. This caused a rift between Wrex and his father, Warlord Jared, one of those Krogan leaders who advocated for continued hostility. This finally came to a head when Jared summoned Wrex to a crush, which is a meeting on neutral ground in which, traditionally, no blood was to be shed. Wrex suspected something was amiss beforehand, but attended the crush anyway. Centuries later, when asked why by Shepard, Wrex would respond that, "When your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws even we hold sacred." A statement made even more telling of his father's character when you take into account the fact that this particular crush was to be held on a set of ancestral burial grounds known as the Hollows, which is considered the one place that Krogan, crush or no crush, are never to shed blood. You may have guessed by now that the meeting went south. When the two parties arrived, Jared attempted to persuade his son to his way of thinking, convince him of the glory of giving battle to their enemies, but Wrex wouldn't budge. When Jared realized Wrex would not be convinced, he signaled his men, who had been hidden throughout the hollows, to ambush Wrex and his soldiers. Every one of Wrex's men died in that fight, and Wrex himself escaped the battle, but only after burying a knife between his father's ribs. After that incident, Wrex considered his eyes opened to the Krogan's beliefs and outlook on life post-Genophage. He realized that most of his people would rather fight and die just to fight and die than look forward toward the future, and he gave up on the Krogan as a people. Wanting no part of seeing his fellows squander their time and their collective future, Wrex left Tuchanka and spent the next several centuries murking himself out throughout the galaxy. Krogan muscle was always in demand. Biotic Krogan muscle with Rex's skills and brain especially so. Over time, he slowly became less jaded concerning the affairs of his people, but also more resigned that there was no way to help those that don't want to be helped.
Such is his basic outlook when he is encountered in Mass Effect 1. The player encounters Wrex on the Citadel during the quest to find Fist, a local bar owner and shady character. This is the same Fist who double-crossed Tali, leading her into a trap from which she is saved by Shepard. Wrex is on station because of a job to kill Fist, because Fist had recently changed employers, and his previous employer was unhappy with this development. Unhappy enough to pay a battle-hardened Krogan Battle Master to remove Fist from the board entirely. Wrex can actually be recruited before or after dealing with Fist, and in a surprise twist, like Garrus, you can also avoid recruiting Wrex altogether. To which we will reiterate what we said in our Garrus video. If you don't at least pick up Wrex, you're doing it wrong.
They were having fun wrong.
If Wrex joins your team before catching up to Fist, once the player has asked all of their questions, defeated Fist, and backed him into a corner, Wrex will kill him. And no matter the protests from Shepard or the other squad mates, Wrex will simply reply that when he's paid to do a job, he finishes it. Alternatively, if the player acquires Wrex after dealing with Fist, Wrex will approach Shepard and give the player the payment he received for Fist's death. He's honorable enough that he won't take money for a job he didn't accomplish. Either way, Wrex then joins the crew on the Normandy, pursuing Saren and Sovereign in an attempt to save the galaxy. Along the way, the player will eventually make their way to Virmire, where Wrex is one of 3 characters that can be permanently killed off depending upon the player's choices up until this point.
Upon reaching Virmire, Shepard will discover that among all the other crap Saren has been doing throughout the galaxy during the game, he has seemingly found a cure for the Genophage, and is secretly breeding a Krogan army on Virmire. Solarian STG members, basically Solarian Black Ops, have discovered this and want to blow the place sky high. Wrex, for obvious reasons, objects to this, at which point a confrontation between Shepard and Wrex ensues. Depending upon quests done prior to this in-game, as well as the player's ranks and persuasive skills, this confrontation ends in one of 3 ways. Either Wrex dies at Shepard's hands, Wrex dies at Ashley, another squad mate's hands, or Wrex is convinced that the new Krogan would only be slaves to Saren's will, and thus the facility should be destroyed before that can happen. If Wrex lives, he'll be one of the only companions to comfort Shepard after either Ashley or Kaidan die in Virmire. There's no way around it. Someone dies once you hit Virmire. Afterward, Wrex tags along with Shepard to kick Saren and Sovereign's teeth in, fueled by his rage at the cure that was nearly in his people's grasp.
After the events of Mass Effect 1, and during the 2 years Shepard spends becoming the Bionic Man or Woman, Wrex, like most of Shepard's former squad members, became very busy. Though the exact nature of Shepard and Wrex's relationship differs depending upon player interactions, the short version is that Wrex becomes inspired by Shepard's example in Mass Effect 1, a common occurrence among Shepard's closest allies, and, after leaving the Normandy, returned to Tuchanka and took over Clan Urdnot. He didn't stop there, though. Using the knowledge of Saren's cure, his manipulation of the Krogan using it, the cure's destruction, and Wrex's subsequent hand in destroying Saren, Wrex spends the bulk of Mass Effect 2 drawing more and more support of the various clans to his banner, working to unite his people so that they can forge a better, more viable future.
Speak when spoken to, Uvenk. I'll drag your clan to glory whether it likes it or not.
Because of this, Wrex does not rejoin Shepard in the player's quest to defeat the Collectors in Mass Effect 2. He is, however, more than happy to help Shepard however he can, is genuinely happy to see Shepard alive,
Your reforms will not go unopposed.
You risk appearing weak at a critical time.
Shepard! Out of my... Shepard! My friend. You look well for dead, Shepard. Should have known the Void couldn't hold you.
And, along with Liara, isn't a jerk about not saddling up with Shepard again. He also has the best reason to stay where he is, and not go crusading against evil aliens. What with the whole trying to rebuild his entire society thing and all. Though he wistfully remarks that the obviously ensuing fight sounds like fun.
Takes me back to the old days. Us against the unknown, killing it with big guns. Good times.
It should also be noted here that if Wrex died in Mass Effect 1, his brood brother, Reeve, will be doing the same thing in his stead, though Reeve is a much more bloodthirsty, much less far-seeing leader than Wrex is in his place.
Come Mass Effect 3, Wrex still doesn't rejoin Shepard as a squad mate, except in the Citadel DLC. Instead, he succeeded in his plan for Mass Effect 2 and become the de facto leader of the Krogan as a species. As such, when the Krogan are approached to help in the fight against the Reapers, specifically in helping the Turians, if he's alive, Wrex is the man in charge and the Krogan to talk to. If he died in Mass Effect 1, Reeve again takes his place. Though it should be noted here that Reeve is worth less points on Mass Effect 3's warboard than Wrex, because Wrex is awesome. When approached, Wrex is willing to lend his people's aid in the fight, on the condition that a cure for the Genophage be found and disseminated. The Turians and Solarians, those responsible for the Genophage originally, are of course averse to this, but Wrex holds firmly that no cure means no help from the Krogan. Fortunately for everyone, Wrex has information on some Krogan women that the Solarians have tucked away on a research base somewhere. As a start, he demands the release of the females and is willing to work from there. Shepard supports this decision, and the last surviving female, among other things, the installation is attacked while Wrex and Shepard are there. It's a video game, guys. You didn't think that something that important was going to go smoothly, did you? She's rescued, and eventually a cure is made, which Wrex helps Shepard set at the ready to be disseminated.
At this point, Shepard has the option to destroy the cure, fake a cure, or send out the real cure. If the cure is destroyed, then Wrex withdraws the support of the Krogan, who are content to watch the galaxy burn around them and see what the rest of the Milky Way's people think of a life that seems like it has no future. If the cure is faked, then in addition to the withdrawal of the Krogan support, the player gets to witness both the biggest difference between Wrex and Reeve, and arguably the ugliest death of a character in the Mass Effect series. If the cure is faked with Reeve in charge, then he accepts that the cure is real and lends his support. However, if the cure is faked and Wrex is in charge, he demonstrates his superior intelligence in realizing what has happened, telling Shepard, "I know what you did," and trying to kill the player. What follows is a heartbreaking bit of dialogue delivered by a thoroughly betrayed Krogan who throws every barb at the player that a real person who's known you for years and has been betrayed this deeply would, including taunting you for betrayal being your thing if the player killed whoever survived Virmire in Mass Effect 1, assuming you made the choice to kill the survivor, all before dying at the hands of either Shepard or a C-Sec security. As a side note, this is as blatant cutscenes are more dangerous than gameplay moment as any in the series, rivaled only by Garrus's taking a rocket to the face. Alternatively, if you have a soul, and Wrex is leading the Krogan, you can choose to give the Krogan the real cure, which will result in Wrex happily lending his people's full support to the fight against the Reapers. With the Krogan given a cure, Wrex will tell Shepard near the end of the game that Bakara, or Eve, his counterpart as leader of Krogan's females, is successfully pregnant with their children. Always a major source of celebration for the Krogan, and especially exciting now, considering the cure. Additionally, during the Citadel DLC, assuming it's played after the cure is given to the Krogan, the player is treated to an amusing discussion at a bar, where it is revealed that since the cure, Wrex has had Krogan women lined up to bear children with his genes, as he's being heralded as the savior of the Krogan race. A fervor for his, shall we say, attentions that has been made worse by Bakara's encouragement of the other women. So much so that the trip to the Citadel to help save Shepard has been a welcome vacation. In response to Shepard's quip that getting all of the ladies is not that big of a problem, Wrex responds by getting a bag of ice from the barkeep and setting them on his quad. Worth a laugh any day.
It means victory or death, roughly.
But you can't die, Wrex. You got a family now. A really big family.
More ice!
And that's basically Wrex. Once and future Lord of Clan Urdnot, savior of the Krogan people, along with Shepard, and one of the most powerful Krogan to walk the galaxy. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave us a like. And if you have ideas for more lore videos you'd like to see us do in the future, let us know in the comments down below. If you want to see more videos from us in the future, be they lore or let's play, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
In the meantime, this has been Two Men and a Mic, signing off.
Hey guys, you can click the link in the left for our last lore video.
You can click the link on the right for our last Let's Play.
And right here in the middle, that orb, you can hit that to subscribe.
Also, ring the bell if you want to be notified when we post a new video.
This is Two Men and a Mic. Thanks for watching.